Welcome back to another daily devotion. I'm Pastor Roy here at Woodlawn Christian Church in Lake City, Iowa, and this devotion is for Tuesday, May 2nd of 2023. Though you would not know it was May by the weather that we've been having. I will complain just a little bit. Please allow me that discretion. We're ready for it to warm up here in Lake City. At any rate, it is May 2nd of 2023, and we are in the book of 1 Corinthians. We are in the last chapter, and we're going to be finishing the book tomorrow. Today we're looking at chapter 16, verses 5 to 12. Like I said, tomorrow we'll finish it. Then on Thursday we will start 2 Corinthians. So 1 Corinthians has been a good study, though. So with that, Paul is talking. He's wrapping up. Chapter 16 is wrapping it all up. And he's kind of throwing out some ideas about what he's got going on, or what he's planning to do, I guess I should say. And we're going to think about that a little bit along the lines of what we think and what we plan and how we need to be prepared for that. So without further ado, let's look at verses 5 through 12 in chapter 16 of 1 Corinthians. I will visit you after passing through Macedonia, for I intend to pass through Macedonia, and perhaps I will stay with you or even spend the winter, so that you may speed me on my journey wherever I go. For I do not want to see you now just in passing. I hope to spend some time with you if the Lord permits, but I will stay in Ephesus until Pentecost. For a wide door for effective work has opened to me, and there are many adversaries. When Timothy comes, see that you put him at ease among you, for he is doing the work of the Lord as I am. So let no one despise him. Speed him on his way in peace, that he may return to me, for I am expecting him with the brethren. As for our brother Apollos, I strongly urged him to visit you with the other brethren, but it was not at all his will to come now. He will come when he has opportunity. Okay, first of all, Paul is going to stay in Ephesus until Pentecost. He's got some good work going there, but some people are contending with him, and that's something we need to remember, that oftentimes when we're doing, maybe all the time, when we're doing God's work, we're going to have some people come up against us. This is one of the things that's difficult about ministry. This is what's difficult about telling people the truth. People don't necessarily want to hear the truth about some things. There are some things they'd rather be told a falsehood about, or they'd rather live in their sins, to be blunt. And so we're going to have people come up against us when we are preaching the gospel, the message of Christ and his salvation. But remember, those people are coming up against you because you're challenging their worldview and perhaps challenging their power and people's egos and things like that. So but we're going to have that when we are dealing with spending time trying to promote God's word. The other thing I want to point out here is that Paul has left some leeway for changes in his plans, because he's not exactly sure what's going to happen. He's listening a little bit to James, because in James chapter 4, verses 13 to 17, it says, "Come now, you who say, today or tomorrow I will go into such and such a town and spend a year there and trade and get gain, whereas you do not know about tomorrow, what is your life? For you are a mist that appears for a little time and then vanishes. Instead, you ought to say, if the Lord wills, we will live and we shall do this or that. As it is, you boast in your arrogance. All such boasting is evil. Whoever knows what is right to do and fails to do it, for him it is sin." Okay, we don't know what tomorrow holds. We need to remember that I had to run to Des Moines this morning for a doctor's appointment. And that's an hour and 45-minute trip one way, and then back 3.5 hours on the road, just to go see the doctor. In that period of time, I could have easily gotten into I shouldn't say easily, but it realistically could have gotten into an accident, and it could have been the end of Pastor Roy. We don't know what tomorrow holds. We don't know what's coming. Likewise, when we're doing ministry, we don't know the direction God's going to send us on. We need to always be attentive and watching for changes in our plan to become God's plan, to God's will. And actually in verse 12, where it says down here, the brethren are going to see him, Timothy, or them, the folks in Corinth, Timothy and the brethren are going to see them, and he wants them to treat them well. I'll say that first, and make sure that they treat him kindly. There is some contention, remember. That's what those whole 2 letters are about. and they're more than just 2 letters. These whole letters, series of letters to church in Corinth, is because there's some contentious folks there, and Paul's kind of saying, "Hey, now treat Timothy nicer than you treat me, okay? Don't despise him. Speed him along on his way in peace. Build him up. Don't tear him down." But in verse 12 it says, Apollo says, but it is not at all his will. Now that, where it says that, to come now, the way it's written in the Revised Standard Version, we read that and we assume it's Apollo's will. But it's not clear. It could be it's God's will. It's not God's will that Apollos go there, but that he will when God offers the opportunity. There are times that Paul says he's prevented from going places. Remember that? That for whatever reason, God's not wanting him to go there at that point, or he wants him to go somewhere else. And so we do need to remember that, even though we've got some of these lofty plans. We have a 2-year plan or 5-year plan, a 10-year plan, all those kinds of things that we plan out our lives, plan out even our ministries. I think we've got it all, the answers. We need to remember that we have to be able to change directions when God tells us it's time. Paul's not 100% sure where he's going. Wherever I go, he says in verse 6. He's not sure for sure. He's letting the Spirit lead him, and we need to leave our lives open for that. Our lives of evangelizing and spreading the gospel, but even our lives for everything. You never know when you're going to meet somebody, and away you go. So you get married and you go to a different town. Your life pivots on a dime. Just whenever your life does pivot, remember to keep in the Word, keep doing the work of the gospel. No matter where you go, just as Paul says, no matter where I'm going to go, I know I'm going to be preaching the good word. So with that, I'm going to let you go for now. We will finish 1 Corinthians tomorrow, like I said, and then Thursday we're going to start up on 2 Corinthians. So I got to do a little bit of work between now and then, just reading up on 2 Corinthians a little bit. All right, have a blessed day, and please, please, please be a blessing to someone today. And if you do like these devotions, if you get anything from them, please like and subscribe. We'd love to have you back, or share the videos. We'd love to have that. We'd love to reach out and touch more folks, as they say. Have a blessed day. God loves you. Take care.